Hey guys, this is the all-new Rivian RS1. It's a 7,000 pound beast of an SUV with a third row seat to fit 7 and a 0-60 time of just 3.0 seconds. This is my friend David's new car, and we thought it'd be cool to see how it does towing. In today's video, we're going to review the Hitch setup, the tow ride and comfort, and lastly the efficiency towing a 2020 Malibu boat. If you haven't heard of Rivian before, they're an all-electric automaker based in California. Their RT1 pickup truck came out the end of 2021, and this SUV came out in September of 22. The truck and SUV share a lot of the same build components, but the SUV does have a 14-inch shorter wheelbase, leading to a little bit less tow capacity. These cars have a lot of cool features, including air suspension, 15 inches of ground clearance, and 300+ mile range with no trailer, and 4 electric motors totaling over 835 horsepower, as well as many safety and driver assist features. The backup camera is sufficient for lining up the hitch to the ball by yourself, and the top-down view is really nice for parking. One of the first things we wanted to check with towing was if the rear suspension was squat or sag for the trailer's tongue weight. Initially it did a little bit, but after a few seconds the vehicle noticed this and adjusted the air ride to level the vehicle out. This is important when towing, and even though the manual says automatic ride height is disabled in towing mode, I guess load leveling still functions when stopped. The manual says the RS1 is rated to pull 5,000 pound trailer with a normal hitch, or 7,700 pounds if using a weight distribution style hitch. These special hitches send some of the trailer tongue weight up to the front axle. The trailer that we'll pull today is around 5,000 pounds. There's a cosmetic cover that needs to be removed to access the Class 5 trailer hitch. Once removed, you will see the 7-pin trailer electric connector. When you plug your trailer in, the Rivian will auto-detect the trailer and enter the tow mode. In this mode, many of the normal safety and driver assist features are disabled, such as lane control, active braking, adaptive cruise control, etc. This is to keep the driver more engaged because they can probably do a safer job driving defensively than with the automation, at least for now. Rivian sends over-the-air updates, and there's already been quite a few new features added via software. Because the trailer hitch is recessed inside the bumper, you'll need ample length for your trailer safety chains and cables to reach. Ours were pulled snug, but we had just enough room for tight turns. In tow mode, the Rivian gives the driver a standard ride height as well as maximum torque and braking power. It has an automatic sway control system that will turn off the manual cruise control should a sway event occur. This trailer doesn't have electric brakes, but if it did, you could use a button on the right side of the steering wheel to manually brake just the trailer, independent of the car if needed. This trailer instead uses its own manual surge brakes, which activate during abrupt stops or in an emergency. Okay, entering the freeway is a non-event. There's just so much power and no shifting involved that you can easily get up to freeway speeds. I'd say it's much easier than a gas truck. The whine of the electric engines is different and noticeable now that we have a trailer attached. Once reaching highway speeds, the stability is great. There's no sway, it tracks straight if you let off on the wheel, but you can definitely feel the weight of this trailer. You have to stay more engaged and make more corrections to stay in your lane. Driving across black pavement is very smooth and quiet, but reaching the areas of the freeway that are made of 40-foot sections of cement with large control joints, the ride becomes noticeably bumpy. You can feel every expansion joint, which is often and becomes tiring. As soon as the freeway changes back to asphalt, it's a nice ride. We both thought the 20-inch all-terrain tires and air ride would have soaked up the freeway bumps better. But maybe the tongue weight and the air ride countering it is transferring the freeway cracks to our seats? But what do you guys think? Any ideas why? Slowing down on a steep and short freeway exit was easy. We didn't even need to use the conventional brakes at all. We simply let off the accelerator and the electric motors absorbed the energy and sent the power back to the 129 kilowatt-hour battery using regenerative braking. As far as real-world efficiency, we saw quite a reduction in range as expected. Without the trailer, we averaged 56 miles per hour and had a 2.37 mile per kilowatt rating. That means that we used 11.1 kilowatt hours to drive the 26.5 mile trip. We drove very conservative with cruise control on, trying to match what we think it would be like once the trailer was in tow. Once we hooked up the trailer, we reset the computer, and with the trailer, we averaged a slower 40 miles an hour, despite our best average to match the previous trip, and saw a 0.9 mile per kilowatt rating, with a total power use of 29.4 kilowatt hours. So you can see it used about 264% more energy pulling a 5,000-pound boat trailer at 62 mile an hour freeway speeds, meaning that our 300 plus mile range drops down to 113 miles respectively. This is in ideal weather conditions, conservative accelerator use, and barely any AC or heater. Our local lake is a 136 mile round trip, so we'd have to stop and charge at least once to make the distance. This might not sound like much of a range, but this is a good sized boat, with a larger tower creating a ton of drag at freeway speeds. I'm sure there's quite a few people who would use the Rivian to pull a smaller utility trailer or lighter boat. For that use, I would expect to see significantly better range beyond 200 miles. With an ever-expanding charging network, it soon won't be unnormal to find a spot to charge for 30 minutes, as long as you don't mind unhooking your trailer to charge. Hopefully, they start adding pull-through charging stations for people that are towing. But I want to know your thoughts on this reduced range and charging with the trailer. Please comment below. Well, that's a first look at the Rivian R1S. It's a nice luxury electric SUV with many creature comforts, and believe it or not, it's built in the USA just like Tesla, which I think is super cool. I'll put a few links below to the car's specs if you want to read more about it. And that's all for now. So if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. If you want to be notified of more videos like this one, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.